And here we are again, doing another live stream on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma, and I can already see the problem. Can you see the problem? I can see the problem. Can you see the problem? Like, is it up there? Dang it, computer game. Computer game, why are you so derpy? Well, let's get in here and fix this. What about now? Does that fix it? God, what a goofy start to the stream. Let's get into it. It's a Tuesday, my friends, and peeps are still tuning in. Spooky Dokie, May School, 4Gil, Sir Gemin, thank you ever so much for the bananas. Billman68, throwing some bananas my way too. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Your support always is. We've got some things to talk about in today's stream. It's also quite hot today, I'm just realising. It always feels a little bit hotter right as I start streaming. That pressure's on, that's what it is. So, for the beginning of this stream, we're doing some crafting. Oh yeah, another went and actually got more cobblestone, so I guess I gotta do that too. Yeah, I guess I gotta do that too. Right, let's gear up and go get cobble and then come back here. I think is the way to do it. So, if we go look in these chests, you'll see that we've got tons of gear, and that is actually intentional now. Lure Wolfie, thank you so much for 9 months of support, and the one, the only Winnie T. Ford, 50 months. Time just keeps marching on. That is what time does. Time marches forever forward. Never slowing down. Always speeding up, it seems. Always speeding up. So yeah, let's get geared up. I mean, I don't need to bring everything with me, but I'll bring the things I will be using. Cool. Did I put the sword in there? I did. The sword goes in here. And we'll borrow that pick, and then with this, I'll be able to go get some more cobblestone. Hi, Xisuma, I'm sick, so I'm here today, says Dutchling. Sorry to hear you're sick, my dude. Always sucks, doesn't it? But you know, when you get better, it feels real good. It's like, oh, I almost feel like 110%. Armored Monkey, thank you for 46 months. 46! Let's give a shout out to the mods and admins. Shout out to the mods and the admins. Okay, I don't do shout outs around here, but when it comes to those mods and those admins, they get all the shout outs. Oh, what's this? Someone has been pathing here and there. Extension of my thing. I don't know. Dustday745, thank you for 7 months. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. So great I can barely express. I graduated from college, says Samwise. Congratulations. That is quite the achievement. Well done, my dude. So yeah, I've already been out here to get cobblestone before, and now I need more of it. 65 months, it's Michael Stickle. Was that an Evil X? It was an Evil X. That means I need to do me animations, right? Animation time. The Stack +1 won't be staying long, just want to say hi. Thanks for tuning in, my dude. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just using this space to like rip out some cobble at the moment. That's kind of like where I'm getting the cobble from, just over here. Golden TNT MSD, another 64 months, a whole stack. That's a power of 2. It probably is. Here they come. Now they're wrecked. I thought I heard more. I heard more. Yeah, we don't need the andesite, right? You can actually see I was here earlier just chucking items on the ground. I'm like, I don't need those rockets, I need the cobblestone. My inventory was full. I had a 3-hour drive and just finished, and you go live, says Elder Twitch. Awesome, good timing, I guess. Hello, Mr. Void, says Black Star Roses. Welcome, welcome. Just landed a new job today, says Blackjack Sunny. Awesome! God, there's some good news going around in the chat today, right? You have your GCSEs next week. Wish me luck. I will not wish you luck, good sir. I will say that fate and destiny is in your own hands and that you can revise, my friend. Oh, God. And may I wish you the best of your revision. My story about GCSEs is that I was going through a little bit of personal hell. I was somewhat of a rebel. I didn't take any of that seriously. In fact, I probably took all the worst actions you could choose to take during your GCSEs, like getting kicked out of your exams and stuff. But the one topic that I did actually study for, right, which was English, which was not my strength. It was one of my worst subjects, and I made this deal with my parents, like, you know, you gotta just do this one thing, right? Just do English. So, you know, me being a rebellious teen, I hate you, Mum and Dad, you don't understand me. God, I laugh at my former self. They got me to study for English, and I actually got a pretty decent result on it, and that was just, you know, because I actually put in the time and effort. So let that be a lesson to all you moody teenagers. You're like, I'm not listening to this guy. He's in allegiance with my parents. He's only got my best interests at heart. I'm not going to listen to this guy. Yeah. Curls of Doom, thank you for gifting a sub. We always appreciate the gifting of the sub. To Shinny01 for 8 months. Monster IE is here with a subscription. We've got Ocean Spirit 05 here for 6 months, half a year right there. Glad to have you with us. Who in chat can post an emote so that I can respond with a video emote? We don't use enough of the video emotes. Like, you know, I got a hot cup of tea right here. Let's have a little sip. Ultimate Way just says, X in this stream, X understands teens implicitly. Look, what I can say is that when I was a teenager, I was one of those moody, troublesome, pain in the arse teenagers. But I weren't doing it, you know, I weren't doing it for the fun of it. There was an emotional storm inside of me, raging hormones and other troubles in the world, and having none of the tools to deal with them. Carls of Doom, you get the derp coin animation. That's what I like to see. And so, you know, I'm making jokes about it, but I also understand, like, if you're going through that. I went through that too. Short Insomniac says, I think I'm a tolerable teen. I mean, that's a good thing, right? Like, you know, there are other teenagers my age who are just, like, decent and respectable and easy to get along with and weren't a pain in their ass for their parents, and I don't know, my experience was just so different. It's like, I'm happy for them, you know? But if, you know, you're going through some of the craziness like I went through, I feel for you, because, you know, people can make jokes about it, it's easy to make jokes about it, but, like, how you feel is legit. You know, it's legit, and it's a difficult thing to deal with. Right, let's go chuck some of the other bits and boobs in here and read some more noises. We've got It's Jens for 11 months, Badger D for 26, Rain Wen for 5, Skyfighter ZX for 6 months. It seems like it's been 6 months subbed already, but I've been here before that. Hope you're doing well. I'm curious about your new mega base because I decided to use bone blocks on my single player for my all Asian architecture build. Good luck on that, my dude. The next episode all will be revealed. Tune in next Monday. Tune in next Monday. Curls of Doom says, being a teenager sucked, glad I got it behind me. Yeah, same here. Same here. It took me a long time to, like, let go of, I guess, who I was and how I felt as well. Not let go like as if that doesn't matter or anything. Just you know, life has changed. You can change in many directions. There's some good tea right here. Some good tea. I'm Anonymous says it took me 19 years to not be a teenager anymore. I feel like there's either a joke there or it's like you feel like you didn't mature for a long time. I'm not sure what you're saying, because 19 is a teenage, right? But then again, there's only 7 years of being a teenager, or 6. That always confuses me, like where the number starts and ends. Soshi, TY, thanks for gifting a sub to CMAX29. Greatly appreciate it. CMAX, be sure to say thanks in the chat. And Hedgehog403, thank you for 14 months. Hey Xisuma, I am interested in your opinion on the potential overturn of Roe versus Wade, says Phoenix. I'm currently on a bit of like a news hiatus Like, my news diet is basically not much, if anything, but, you know, things get through the grapevine, as they say. I don't have, like, a strong opinion, I guess, right now on that, because I've just been quite out of the loop, I guess I would say. But, you know, maybe when I like to talk about a topic when my mind is on it more. So, like, when my mind is, you know, when I'm taking that stuff in and thinking it over in my free time, then I can articulate my thoughts better. So I'd rather just articulate opinions on things like that when it's like a bit more natural or whatever. Which reminds me that today we will have a bit of a talky topic. We could get into it right now if you'd like. What do you want, chat? As a music person, do you follow the Eurovision? Says Trihelm. I don't follow anything like that's a show format when it comes to music on television. So I do not watch Eurovision or really know anything about it. Waffles, says Skyfighter. Do we have a Waffles emote yet? We don't. We need a Waffles emote, don't we? That's what we need. Sounds serious. Oh, let's wait a bit, says Admirari. We want to wait now? Oh yeah, that's the wrong way to do it. You want to do it like this. A little bit quicker this way around. I need a stack of these, by the way. Oh, I literally just thought, no, wait, what? And then boom, they're all dropped. That means, oh god, I'm infinitely useless. I didn't know I could be infinitely useless. I need to go get more cobble now, I think. Is there any redstone? There's got to be some redstone somewhere in here. Yeah, there it is. There's redstone. Yes, I guess I got to press the dirt button. And you've got to enjoy the old derp emote now. God, oh look, there's a bit of cobble in there. Maybe, oh, there's more. Maybe there's enough. Maybe that's enough. I'm hoping it's enough. So how many do we have? We've got 24. So let's just go with that much. Derping this early in the stream, says Walker. I guess that's our fate today. I guess that's our fate. So I guess the thing that I wanted to talk about, we'll jump into it, right? So it's basically, like, I've had some thoughts about this Mark Rober video that went out, and I in no way want this to be like negative towards Mark and his content. I think the guy makes great content, very educational, got a good like attitude and spirit. But this latest thing is like targeting scam call centers and, you know, essentially harassing them, pranking them, and that, you know, it's very easy to look at that and think it's all good. And I think he goes about it the right way. And, you know, does things that to me don't really like tread in any immoral territory, let's say. But it's a form of like vigilantism. And what I'm concerned about is like a copycat effect, because people like to emulate success on YouTube. So when you got a successful video of you scamming a call center, sorry, like pranking a scam call center, you may, you know, foster some imitation copies from people that want to do the same thing. So Balaj has had a strong dislike against Rober's latest video. Interesting. I looked through the comments and like all the good stuff was just everywhere, and I couldn't find many negativity in there. There are also plenty of scam baiters on YouTube, and Kit Boga also here on Twitch. Ah, right, so like people who stream and do like the scam baiting stuff live. Interesting. Yeah, I've seen this stuff before and I've like enjoyed the content and not really thought about it twice, but something about Mark's video just made me think twice about it this time. So Randy says that scam baiters are great. Yeah. Right, let's go. What are we doing? We gotta go get more cobble because I goofed. Seen the video and said the same thing to my wife. I don't agree with vigilantism, but what they do to people, especially 65 plus people, is terrible. It's a very grey area. Yeah, it's definitely a grey area, and one I think that tends to add up with like what they're doing being pretty much acceptable by most people. Like myself, I kind of felt like they're potentially doing the right thing. But the thing that concerned me, that made me think maybe not, is that they're doing it for an audience, and sometimes your audience can be naive, misguided, somewhat ignorant. You know, like what things are acceptable socially is different from people to people, and sometimes people get it really wrong. And you know, what happens when someone sees this, decides to do the same thing, take it into their own hands, and they go too far and someone gets hurt or injured, or you know, that's what I was more concerned about. And I don't think that, you know, I'm not saying that means that Mark's accountable and in the wrong. I just feel like there is this uncomfortable thing about it where it's like, you know, you're taking things into your own hands, you're doing that for an audience, and not everyone in that audience is as smart and, you know, on the right beat, so to speak, as you might be, have the right way of handling it. And so it could potentially go in nasty directions. There's also the fact that, like, just because you work in a scam call center doesn't exactly mean like that you like doing what you do. Some people take jobs because they have no other choice, right? Don't want to forget these diamonds, just going to grab those quickly. So yeah, let's head back down here. But they did shut down the centers for a little bit, so I guess that's good, says Walker. Yeah, like, the thing with vigilantism is that, like, when you have an authority as opposed to a vigilante, there tends to be rules, structures, laws in place where all the pitfalls of trying to deal with the people that do wrong have been ironed out, you know? Is it right to kill someone because they work in a scam call center? Most of us are going to say no, right? So like, there are laws there. We've been through this before, and through various means we have figured out the ways to navigate these situations, and that's what you know, the authorities are there for. And the vigilantism doesn't have all of that, and so mistakes are probably easier to be made, and you know, the judgment calls aren't explicitly agreed upon as a society, which neither are authorities in a way, but you know, you can see how they weigh up differently. So, you know, this form of vigilantism for entertainment, in my mind, it becomes a bit more consequential because of how people can then choose to do the same things and potentially do it wrong. You can also see what he does and think for yourself that he's doing it wrong. I happen to think that for the most part they got it right. I'm just worried about, like, what happens when, you know, some young kids who look up to his channel and what he does get the wrong idea about how they could do this themselves, and someone gets hurt or things go too far. You know, that's a valid concern, but I think many people simply don't have the ability and resources to pull something off like that. Maybe I am underestimating, says Ardennis. They might not, and that might be part of the problem, right? When you don't have access to those things, you might have access to other things. I don't, you know, I haven't dove deep into how they pull all this stuff off, but there are a lot of people out there with, you know, good, let's say, like, internet skills or whatever, know how to track people over the internet and infiltrate and whatnot. Like, a lot of young people get caught up in that sort of stuff, especially today with so much, like, programming and internet activity going on. And someone could choose to, you know, take something like that into their own hands and get it completely wrong. I think Arden makes a good point. There aren't so many people trying to be Batman. Yeah, there might not be a lot of people even trying. I'm not sure. I wouldn't say that should invalidate the concern, right? That definitely shouldn't invalidate the concern, but it, you know, it might be a fair point. Gross JR says the authorities are absolutely corrupt. That's been made obvious over the past 2+ years. I don't know where that's coming from because, you know, I haven't really followed anything along those lines, but like, I don't know, throwing accusations of like government institutions being corrupt, that's a whole different kettle of fish right there. And if they are corrupt, it doesn't pass the point that, you know, it's still the right way to do things, it's just got to be done without the corruption, I guess. I'm missing something here, aren't I? Yeah, so I've crafted my dispensers and they just need to go in here, that's all. So now my supplies are all in good shape. That would also go in there, I guess. I should really probably like maybe make a couple more, because I've only got 6 there and I'll probably end up using some more. I think this issue honestly goes a bit broader to a lot of content out there that might be dangerous for copycats like prank channels, says Walker. Yeah, it would. It definitely would. And, you know, I think when it comes to copycatting going wrong, it's not really like to blame the originator, you know? I think that's getting it wrong. But it's just something I wanted to bring up because it was such a well-received video, and yet it just made me a little bit uncomfortable. Just the sort of knowledge that this could be interpreted incorrectly. Many times, people of influence are blocking the action of the authorities because otherwise they would work, says Skyfighter. Not quite sure what you mean by that. Okay, looking at chat, this discussion is sort of going all over the place. Arnout says, I think every Mark Rober video should not be recreated because they're all quite dangerous, but he didn't put a disclaimer in this video. Yeah, I guess some of the things he does could be dangerous in the wrong hands, like the less concerning stuff, I guess. But I don't know, I haven't really had that sort of feeling or thought until this video. It was really just this one that just made me go, is this, you know, like, what happens when other people watch this and have ideas of doing their own version of it, you know? Amateur hackers might get themselves in a lot of trouble because they are dangerous people behind those schemes and they don't like to lose money, says Skyfighter. There's a good point. You know, you can try and emulate what they do and get it wrong. Get yourself in trouble. RPDazo2, thank you for 4 months. Dear Shemmy's here for 53. And we got Free Kill TM here for 11 months. Thank you for your continued support, peeps. Greatly appreciated as always. We've got a couple of questions. Walker76 says, the scammers talked about violence and killing the people in Mark's video, so I worry about potential copycats getting seriously hurt. Yes, that's a fair point. They did use some like violent, unsavory language, which it's easy to just think of that as being how people talk online because anonymity gives everyone, you know, that sort of space to go over the top a bit or whatever and say things they don't really mean. You can do that IRL as well, of course. You can threaten out of anger when, you know, the threat isn't really serious, but it's still a threat, it's still a problem. It's Scowl117 says there's a fine line between vigilantes and criminals. Yep, that's another thing. You know, some of the things they did in the video may be considered criminal, you know, infiltrating or hacking other people's personal data, sharing it. There's other things too. That's a very good point. A Business Insider article talked about how the Telegram group for the scammers called for Mark Rober's team to be shot on sight. They have screenshots. They knew they were in the area. Yes. Yeah, I remember that bit. That's, again, it's quite easy to just think of it as a empty threat, but sometimes there might be weight behind these threats, you know? So yeah, very, very difficult stuff to traverse, really. And I don't want to linger on the topic for too long, because for me it's just like talking about it is just highlighting all the grey areas. I don't think we'll ever really be able to settle too much on it. Right, I think that's the last of the tea for me today. So 25 minutes to craft a stack of dispensers. It always amuses me how slow this game could be. You see, I've got a few other things on the list today. I kind of feel like just continuing to work on the tunnel project. Ironically, there's something else I could do that would require me to get even more cobblestone together. So one of the things I want to do is hook up Hypno with a path. Probably from over there through here down to this spot and join this area. So I think I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to work on that today. For now, anyway. We'll just sketch out a bit of a path shape and just maybe just throw in some literal path blocks and then sort of see what Hypno wants to do it. This is one of those like just starter temporary bits of bamboo that gets left around, so we'll tidy this up. We'll probably plop down a couple of saplings. I don't know what this rock thing here is, by the way, but it's also got a path. So it seems to me like there's a space here for several paths to kind of converge on. Yeah, so the path can sort of come through that spot, right? And then round to this one. The rock is green starter base. Ah, okay, that's what it is, right. Definitely want to get a few other blocks together and mix this up, but this is where I see it sort of going. Oh yeah, that chest, by the way, that doesn't need to be there, does it? Just says lol. So yeah, a few slabs here and there, and you know the paths will connect. We'll put down saplings so that trees can grow around it, and then we'll hook Hypno up. Oh, now people are saying the rock is Zedaf's? Well, it's Zedaf's or Grian's, it would seem. That seems to be the two popular choices. Okay, and I feel like maybe this tree here can stay. But we've just got to get rid of some of the bushes nearby. X, if you had the resources Mark Rober had for his video, how would you use them to educate the public on the subject? It's just so far out of like my expertise or anything I've even thought about actually doing that basically I wouldn't do that. It's just, yeah, totally out of my vocabulary, that kind of thing, you know. Belage42 says, I feel like pranking call centers employees is not the right way of combating organised crime. Yeah, I felt a little bit of like empathy in a way towards them too. Like, we don't really know their stories. The further up the chain you go, the more devious it seems. But again, I prefer for authorities to deal with these situations rather than vigilantes, you know. Another thing that concerned me too was just like these call centers tend to be in India, and it always worries me that like some people will infer some sort of like racist way of looking at that, you know. Because you see it like internet comments are a place you can see. Like if you ever wanted a measurement of some sort of vague bigotry, I mean, comments on the internet are a keen place to find them, and obviously YouTube has comments, and it concerned me for like Indian people too, that like sometimes people think the actions of, you know, a small group of people in a country will therefore represent the broader population, which is just not fair, really. You know, there are various like economic factors that have led to these call centers being there, and worries me that something like that might incite that too. Prutster is here for 23 months, and Light is Too Short is here with the Prime. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Oh, there were lots of racist replies in that video. Interesting. I looked through the comments and there was just a lot of like goodwill towards Mark. Maybe it's like just the upvoted comments sort of surfacing, or maybe some of those meaner comments get suppressed by YouTube's AI or something like that. But it very much looked to me like a kind of like a one-sided comment section. That was kind of my takeaway from it. But you know, gazillions of comments, I could only read so many. So we want a crafting bench, and then we want our greenery box, probably a little bit of bone meal too. So we'll put some regular old oak trees back in the place, and craft out some slabbies. And you know, I'm not trying to create a work of art here. This is really just about like creating a link. I did say I might leave it up to Hypno, but I've kind of like cracked on a bit here. Could possibly use some like moss blocks and azalea around here. We'll probably just do the regular thing with the bone meal. Yeah, I do want to create like some sort of division between my decorations over here and then what we're creating in this space. Calling him a vigilante is hilarious, says Hamp. Well, think about it. It is basically vigilantism. He sees like immoral activity or crime and then takes it into his own hands, as opposed to using the authorities to deal with it. Okay, we'll put in. You could ask Hypno personally. I think he is on the server right now. He is. No, we've already communicated about this. Maybe I haven't made that clear. Like, I said, well, he said like, hey, you mentioned putting a path in. Like, I'm done. Feel free to hook it up, you know. But then I thought, you know, maybe he might want to do that. But anyway, it's fine. Like, we've got a path coming through the area now, and it'll hook everything up. So yeah, I think we also are going to put in a few planks here and there as well. I'll definitely help with it a little bit, I think. And there you go. Now Hypno's officially like hooked up to all of this activity, right? And the trees aren't bad. We've got to put in some bone meal. I feel like on this side too, kind of want to give it that kind of sort of more gardeny feel, like separate. Like basically all this flat open land is a bit dull. That's what I'm getting at. Who are you calling a plank? Says Trilby Rob. I meant, did up to planks? The half slabs. Were I calling them planks? It's kind of hilarious. What am I looking for? It's really hot. I think I need to take off my t-shirt. It always gets warmer when I stream. So I feel alright, and then I stream and I get a bit sweaty. There we go. Definitely looking more like a garden now. Maybe we'll put some like light sources under the trees too. We have lights. We have the power. Gonna put. Oh no, you can't hang it off. Okay, can't hang it off the leaves. I can put a bit of glow like in here though, right? Just a few bits here and there. Nothing too crazy. Then they'll be slightly luminous at night, which I think would be cool. And I do just want to put them on the undersides, really. Rightio then. It looks to me like there's a big blob of leaves here from, yeah, there was probably a tree that got chopped down. And we got a sub bomb coming in. It's Hamp219. Thank you for gifting subs to WeOPX, Sharthorn, Cetis Int, Terry, Kiara27051, Megan Court, Cheesius, Elgadoro42, Vickless Plays, and Raisin. If you heard your name being read out loud, be sure to say thanks in the chat. Thank you again, Hamp. We always appreciate those gifted subs. Right, we're going to end the conversation on the Mark Rober stuff. Convoy says, how do you feel about Mark's videos with the package thieves? Yeah, with the package thieves, like, it felt so simple. You steal something and you get pranked, right? But it's definitely made me think a little bit more about that. It never really crossed my mind much until I saw this latest one. It was such a big operation, and it just pulled in so many more factors. It really got me thinking, and it made me a little uncomfortable, I guess, along the way. So yeah, it wasn't until this one that I started to like question it, I guess. Marks, the Milu, thank you for 10 months, and Sir Guy Man, thank you ever so much for 10 months of support. Greatly appreciated, peeps. As always, hope you're enjoying the stream. Glow lichen adds a cool texture. It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it adds a bit more texture to the whole thing that we're doing here. Let's put one of them over here. There you go. And there it is, a path from Hypnose to connect him to everyone else. I like that the path just means you can kind of walk through the Hermitcraft world, right? That's another good thing about having a path. You know, one day in the world download, you can kind of experience everything just by walking around. We got Darkermans99 here for 37 months. Thank you, my dude. Your support is always appreciated. And what we got left to sort out? I think that's kind of it. And as always, we are organised. Wait, where's number 4? Oh wait, number 5's next. Then number 6? Huh? I mean, it's supposed to help that they're numbered, but I seem to be goofing around with it at the moment. So I think we're going to stay in the area for a little bit longer before we go underground. But this next thing that I want to do might be a bit tricky. Might have to grab the camera account to help me with it. Right, here we go. Sorry, I was scanning my eyes over chat for a minute there. I hate Elytra, so I'm always happy to see paths, also railways. I haven't really seen a nice railway line on Hermitcraft for a long time ago. Well, we had it in Season 6, right? I feel like this season could be ripe for one. But, you know, it's the game design that rules it out, really. It's the Elytra just so powerful that people don't think to do the other things anymore. So yeah, we need cobblestone, we need redstone, and quartz, which I am starting to run a little low on. So we'll go fish ourselves out some more cobble first. Well, actually, let me see if it's possible. I need my camera account for this next bit. So I better start loading that up. I've got a good idea of what I need to do. Just want to check and see if it's going to be possible or not. In fact, we'll do that. We'll do that here so you can see what's going on as well, right? The Thinky says apologises for reading chat. Well, you know, I was quiet for a moment. I was just reading some of the messages and seeing if anything would spark my interest. Did you see that Beef finally found your eggs, says Walker? I didn't, but I left him a clue. So I guess he got the clue. You know, there were lots of sheep puns, so I probably need to look where the sheep were. Alright, I got my camera account now. No Wings Club was a great idea. I'm glad to see it's possibly influenced the way the Hermits play. Yeah, I was actually a part of that for a long time, wasn't I? I didn't use it a crazy amount last season. Okay, so here's the dealio. Inside of here, we got this pillar, right, where the... Okay, so that's got the water stream in. So there's no gap on this side. I know that there's a gap on the opposite side. So that... I don't need any of this anymore. Like, I was going to hook up some other farms here, and I just thought, it's such a hassle, no one else is going to use it. So then, right, so yeah, it's actually pretty possible. What we need to do is run a redstone line to this bit over here. So it's going to come all the way down there. So we need some repeaters, some redstone, and then we need one of these. And it needs to go up round the back here. And then shimmy its way up here. And then actually where it goes from there is a good question. Oh, actually it's pretty awesome. We could put a button right here in the middle that says like top up. Yeah. Okay, well it's all very possible, so we'll make it happen. I think I'll just log out. Turn that off. Oh, we've been raided. False! Thank you so much for the raid. I totally wasn't using a cheaty camera account to figure anything out. No. No, I'm all legit. False, thank you for the raid. Welcome all the raiders. I know False was streaming some Hermitcraft, so your Hermitcraft action continues. Oh, you loved that Hermitcraft action, didn't you? We are going to go get some cobblestone, make some observers, create a line of redstone to hook up the community smeltery with a button that activates the flying machine. I think I might make it a pressure plate to like try and encourage it to get used a little more, I guess, or activated so they can stock up with more fuel. Ultimate Wager says midweek Hermitcraft streaming weekend or something. Well, you know, when us hermits we all stream, let's say at a similar time or on the same day, it can be a little bit like one of those weekends, can't it? Let's mine up a bit more. Somebody 2004 says, X, I've got to thank you for one of your raids earlier. I found Daisy music via you. She's among my favourite musicians now. Awesome, that's sweet. You know, like I tune in and watch on occasion. Twitch isn't really a place that I go to for music, but it's like super interesting how things change. Like just because of how I've grown up listening to music, I get emailed when new albums come out. I find new music on platforms like Bandcamp or Spotify. I don't think to go to Twitch, even though I know it's there. It's like my brain just isn't quite in tune with all of that. So yeah, I'm gonna need some more torches. There's some coal. Let's get a bit more here. 5. 8, perfect. Oh yeah, 2 lots, 2 lots. Uh-huh. That should be more than enough for those. Off we go again. I mean, the amount of times we're going back over to this place is a little bit silly. Orcus says, I'd be very curious to know how you go about from finding new artists. That's something I really struggle with beside recommendation from friends. You just gotta browse and read and look and be adventurous. You can search for playlists on Spotify and just type in something like, what did I try the other day? Like, I listened to some Britpop from the 90s and found a couple of new songs. I just typed in something that sort of fit the mood. Like I tried psychedelic metal, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for. It was all a bit like sludge metal type stuff that came up. But, you know, just like throw together some words of stuff you like. That's one way to look for things. Yeah, and just like reading about artists and you know, looking at band lineups and clicking on them and finding out what other projects they've done. You just gotta peruse, really. You just gotta click and, you know, you go on YouTube and you watch a video, it recommends another, right? You can do that with music on YouTube. Watch something from a band you like and you'll see recommendations for stuff that's similar. It's just about having a peruse, really. Oh, look at all this diorite. So much diorite, we want the cobble. So yeah, there's no real like form to any of this yet. We're in my base area, by the way, if you're wondering where this is, but I don't even know what areas I need to dig out yet, but I'm going to have to dig out a lot. Actually, and now that I say that out loud, I'm like, I kind of need to dig out in that direction, if anywhere, but I'm not going to overthink it right now. Once you've seen my project and I can show you it in stream, which will be next week, we'll be doing a lot of work over here. Like, there will be plenty to do, believe me. And we'll have some fun doing it on camera as well. Because so far, I've just been building over there like a madman, and I've got nothing to show for it yet. Nothing to show for it. But that'll all change. See, we're getting that iron from being up in the mountain here, aren't we? I personally prefer Pandora's algorithm for discovering new music over Spotify, says Noob Booper Bop. I'm aware of Pandora. I used that like a long time ago. I never really thought about, you know, like deliberately trying different algorithms and seeing what they deliver. It's a good concept, actually. Maybe you realise, hey, this one's got me sussed out better. I was also quite resistant of using algorithms to discover stuff for a long time. But really, it's just like, what is your experience of something? You know, if you can just enjoy whatever's on. You know, I keep having this like decision paralysis. Sometimes I'll be like watching a movie and just be thinking like, did I pick the right movie? And it's so silly. It's like a really weird, like mental frazzle that's come around from being in this internet environment of just constant like access and recommendation. You're watching a video, something on the sidebar looks cool, you click on that. Like, the way our brain is receiving information is just changing, and I look back over my DVD collection and I'm like, oh, I used to watch some of these things over and over again, and like now my attention is just like nowhere on that level. And I've been trying to take it back a little bit. One of the things that's helped is like deliberately taking my days a little bit slower lately. Not trying to put as much on my plate, and just enjoy whatever's going on a little bit more. Yeah. What does chat say about it? YouTube music's actually a pretty great balance of playing your favourites and new music discovery. Yeah. Should give it a try. That's why I use a browser extension called Unhook to eliminate all distractions, says Hypered. That sounds kind of cool. I'm trying to do things a bit more through discipline, but like sometimes, you know, these sites are engineered against you. Like they're using your own instincts. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts lately, like long form ones. Been like getting stuck into that and not getting too distracted with other things. Dang, we're gonna have some fun exploring those cave areas later. Yeah, and in general, just been taking things a bit slower. I've also been enjoying my coffee. I've been having some decaf coffee as well. And the pace is what it's all about. So we just as I decide to peer into my inventory, I realise that we've peaked out a little bit here on this. Where's the way out? There it is. Zorakan Jeep says, I totally agree. I find it difficult to focus on a book. That is obviously less rewarding to the brain as crazy quick videos. Yeah, I mean, I can barely read anymore. Like, I get a headache from reading is one problem. That's just come with age. But yeah, like, keeping your attention on one thing is kind of tricky. And for me, it's about sort of prepping the environment a bit. Like, I've just spent a little more time cleaning my house lately. I tended to have this attitude of Like, I've always had an attitude of clean as you go. And because of that, I can kind of go longer without giving the house a top to bottom clean kind of thing. But I've actually been trying to clean it more frequently and use that time to just kind of like enjoy something like a podcast. I find doing a mindless activity like cleaning lets you focus particularly well on a simple task. Or sorry, on like one thing. Where it's difficult to stay focused is if you're at the computer playing Minecraft and you're trying to like watch a video and talk to someone on Discord. Like, I've been trying to like compartmentalize all these activities a lot more. And so like podcast time is when I'm cleaning. And so the result is like I've spent more time cleaning my kitchen or, you know, giving attention to those things, right? Kaiser says me, cries out with Gen Z low attention span. I mean, if you're aware you've got like a low attention span, consider it something you can work on. Like, you can take actions, you can make decisions just to try and improve it. And you might find that liberating, I don't know. Right, that should make a stack of observers. I think that's, boom, more than enough for our needs. We're gonna chop up some of this into here. And the other thing we need is some repeaters, so we're going to need some twigs, aka sticks, and I guess the last thing we'll craft is that. Hopefully be enough. We're running low on that, aren't we? The old quartz. I need to put the thing back in here, that's all. I put things off, then clean immaculately when the time comes, says Scotimus. Yeah, that might work really well for you. That's kind of what I was doing. It was like putting it off and then doing like deeper clean. But maybe just try cleaning as you go. There's undoubtedly small things you can do on the go that make... wait, I don't need to go through here. That make really big differences. Maybe not everything. Like, you know, like scrubbing down every surface as you go, maybe not. But just like tidying things away can make a huge difference. I'm kind of worried about the direction we are taking as a society. We went from long movie to YouTube video to 37 TikTok, losing at the same time the ability to just wait and enjoy nothing, says Zarakan Jeep. Yeah, I'm not one for worrying. I'm more of a optimist when it comes towards looking to the future. I think it's easy to see these things in a negative light, but the fact that we're able to discuss our attention span, like 30 years ago, there was no sort of conversation like that. You know, same with like mental health and whatnot. So things change in all sorts of different directions all at once, and I really think, you know, it's a matter of perspective. Like, you can give it a little doom and gloom, or you can see the positive sides of things. And I've very much found that focusing on the positive is just far more enjoyable and interesting. Like, I've been negative. I've got exhausted of it, I guess. And so I tend to just focus on like the positive aspects of things if I can. Right, so that right there would need to be powered by... Tell you what, we want a whole bunch of those. So when a pulse comes through and powers this, it'll set the machine off. I'll give it some ticks. I'm not sure if that even really does anything. Oh yeah, we got no beacon over here. And then when we come out of this corner, we'll just go down to ground level maybe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right, and then we'll do more of that county stuff in a minute. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I need to mute. Emergency mute time. Oh, not only that, I took the time to hydrate. Good for me. Good for me. Thank you, chat. Yes, hydration. I always love just chilling in your streams. I don't feel the need to join the chat. I can just sit and read and listen to your responses. This is my favourite way to relax, and it's a great insight into other folks' views. Awesome, I like your attitude there, yeah. Relaxing. Yeah, speaking of relaxing, so like last week I felt like pretty exhausted with all my workouts, and I had like you know 2 half days worth left, and I went, oh, I'm just gonna take a break, and I felt like I was, you know, really taxing myself, and so I'm like, right, I'm gonna take things easier, like through the day mentally, enjoy the moment more, enjoy these workouts, and I'm gonna get a lot more sleep. And I've done that. I'm only 2 days in, but I feel just so good. I've made sure I've had like a full night's sleep, like trying to get the best sleep I can. Been using like earplugs and what do they call them when they go over your eyes, you know, nightshade or whatever. Carrier Slug, thank you for a subscription. Axel J Cobra, thank you for using the Prime. Appreciate it. So yeah, you know, like, and immediately I just feel it straight away. I've really just enjoyed the last couple of days. Like, I definitely needed the rest, and the rest has done me good. But like, it just elevates your mood to get everything right. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a bath, like to relax the body and muscles and all of that. I'm gonna have twice a week for the next 3 weeks. Like I've got a plan. It's like I'm conducting an experiment on myself. You know, I want to find out how much of a difference can this stuff make. So yeah, really trying to just take it all one day at a time. And what's helping with that is doing 1 episode of Hermitcraft a week. That gives me like just a totally different mindset. Like when I do 2 episodes a week, it's like I am like constantly on it. And I'm probably going at about the same pace, but it just feels so different. Because I just kind of know, like, hey, I'm recording this episode, and it will be done before Monday, right? Like, and actually just makes the whole process so much more relaxed and enjoyable and whatnot. So I've been doing all right. Dogcraft MC, thank you for the Prime. Shoshi TY, thank you for gifting subs to Exo Sapper, Rocco Swede, MJ Fellows, Harry Styles, and Litterbox, who've been gifted a sub. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. We appreciate that. Yeah, and you know, like, here I am waffling. I appreciate you listening. It lets me get things off my chest, even though they're just, you know, silly little day-to-day things. But hopefully as well, like, you might find some value in some of these ideas. Let's get that camera account back on, because I'm going to start using it again. So we have to go up through this space here, which means I can kind of come round anywhere into here. So we'll aim for the back of the room. I think I'm just going to have this thing go through this space. I also need to not use this anymore. Like that floor needs to just be settled, so we'll do that. Should bring it to somewhere where the observer will be. So what we got going on here? 1, 2, 3 pieces of redstone. So we change that. Litterbox is passing it on and gifting a sub to Sty the Mage. Thanks for passing it on, my dude. Paying it forward, whatever they call it. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream as well. Litterbox has got to pass it around. I like the attitude. I like it. So, Xisuma, out of all your Hermitcraft skins, which one has been your favourite? I think the bee. I mean, the turtle was really the first incarnation of changing up the skins, right? But for me, the bee was just a very strange time. I think all of Season 7 will be permanently kind of cast into sort of an incompletable space just due to what the world was going through and what we were all going through as individuals. And yeah, it just makes that season, looking back on it, just so much more remarkable. And actually, I gotta say, I think I'll say it, like, if I miss any season the most, I look at that. It's such a weird time to reflect on what happened during the pandemic, because all of this free time, in a weird way, like I look at it like it was an opportunity, because when like everything changes, you have to change too, and like what we went through changed us all, but then you look back at it and you feel like you could have done things differently, or things could have been different. I don't know. It's just such a strange moment in time. Right, so what we can do, you see, I can power this block. No, what we have to do, okay, I've got it now. So we have to have, I bet there's some trapdoor out there that's going to get powered by this, and it'll just be forever like, oh. Anyway, yeah, that is the next bit there, and then we have to get into this space and pillar up with the observer. I stopped watching YouTube and Twitch for many years due to spending an unhealthy amount of time on it, so I skipped from season 2 to 7. Such a wild transition, says Walkie. That really would have been. And I think if you missed out... on anything, seasons 4 and 6 there were quite something along the way. Like, they were big pivot-y type seasons. Curls of Doom, thank you for gifting a sub to Darth Piator. Appreciate it as always, Curls. Thanks for supporting our community. And Darth Porter says thanks in chat. That's awesome to see. Xisuma streams are more than just Minecraft. You always learn something good. I started taking cold showers in the morning after you talked about them on one of your streams. It really helps me stay active at school. Yeah, that's the whole, like, it waking you up, it's shaking you to get going, right? I every time I have a cold shower, I think about it, but what happened? Something happened with it last week. I'm just trying to remember what it was. I think I decided, like, I felt a bit like I had this idea in my head, like, you know, maybe it was like Sunday, and I'm like, all right, it's Sunday, I'm not going to bother with a cold shower. But then I just felt like groggy and slow, and like after a while I was just like, no, I'm gonna have a cold shower, and it just like totally woke me up, and I'm like, yeah, that's why I do this. Like, it does feel a little bit like, you know, hard work or whatever, or a pain, but like you get such a reward from it. And what I've been realizing what it is, and I've probably said this already, but like the idea has just gone a little deeper, I guess. It's just an adrenaline rush, right? Like, that's what you're probably getting. Like, your body has to go, oh my god, we're in cold environment, you know, needs to protect itself. But your experience of that is probably through adrenaline. And so you're just giving yourself like a rush of adrenaline first thing in the morning. That's going to wake you up. Like fully cold water, says Rob. I mean, it's hard, like as cold as you can tolerate, really. Like, I don't have it like full cold, but it's pretty much most of the way there. But I've also grown a tolerance to it. Like, I started off, you know, not wanting to turn it down that much, and then as time goes by, you kind of get used to it. You know, you've done it for a couple of weeks, you turn it a little bit lower and lower still, and essentially I'm probably like having the same amount of shock or response to it. It's like the tolerance changes, I guess. But it's a good workout for your cardiovascular system, so totally worth it. So I guess what I need now is like sand. I just realised something. Have I built this thing the wrong way around? God, how do I only notice that now? Wait, did I really just like the one repeater I got in the right direction? Okay. Oh, they're not going to put dark faces in chat, are they? Y'all just failed a test! No, I can't keep doing that. Hey, no one else pointed it out in chat. I was thinking, what is he doing, says May School. You should have said something. Oh, gosh, the embarrassment. Well, what we'll do up here then is look for our sandstone box. Okay, here's one with like a sandstone in it. So that goes there. Then we need like a pressure plate. Or I think I'm just going to put a button. You know? Yeah. I don't know. Okay, let's go fix this up. Always doing things the hard way, aren't I? Always the last minute. Like, why don't I ever remember this like early on? It's always right at the very end. Darth Quieter, thank you for passing it on and gifting a sub to Haley Bailey. Greatly appreciated. Like, you already got a higher cortisol level in the morning because the body needs to wake you up. Adding an adrenaline rush on top of that, no thanks, says Girls. Give it a try, it's wonderful. Like, you know, however you're feeling, it's just like you become more refreshed and alert and vibrant. It's all goodness. Yeah, that's all I can say. It's all very good. So I need to... Oh, it does. Didn't I say something about it? Hang on, where's the camera count looking? Ah! I knew it would do something like that. I knew it. Can that be remedied, like... I don't think there's a block here that I can... Like, I could put some levers on display. Maybe I can power... No, they're stair blocks. There might just be another way, probably not, to do this. I don't know, we'll revisit the idea. But, God, I knew something like that would happen. It had to, really, didn't it? It just had to. Okay, so I kind of need to place this, like, the other way around from down here. So I guess that involves just having some blocks on hand. Right, and if that were the last one, then I just need to place it level with that grass block, I think. Yep, so you can see that the signal will come down this way. That would actually work, because that would then power the redstone. Actually got a ender pearl right there, haven't I? Right, so we probably want to take out something that allows us to go into that back area. There isn't really much unless I tear up like a whole bunch of stuff. Even that doesn't feel terribly helpful. Okay, I can replace all of that later, right? So that sends the signal downwards. Let's get rid of that block. So, can I take out this one here? Guess I kinda could. Like, who's gonna notice that, you know? Or, that's gonna point into a block here. Right, yeah. So there's gonna be a block there. And so all of this will be one block higher. That's the way to do it. Uh-huh. Now I've got to place this stuff. And the way to do it, how do we do it? Do we... Yeah, we've got to come down. So now I think it would be useful to have this in my offhand. Someone's saying I'm on the CCTV. Yeah, I got my little CCTV channel here. There you go. So now we come back down. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it there. So I'll probably need to break this for a second. Put one of those there. Whoops. Yep, that would work. And then that means that we can put together those blocks. Right. Progress is being made. Believe it or not. It is being made. Is that the right way around? It's the wrong way around. And what we should experience now... Hello, CCTV camera! Oh wait, zoom doesn't work that way, does it? It works this way. There you are! Oh, look, a derp! Spotted! Inside of this building. What will he do next? God. Right, down we go. So we can activate all of this, pretty much, if we chain it up with the repeaters. X only reads Curl's messages, says Curls of Doom in chat. Oh no, sorry, that was Amazing Games. Jeez, what a contradiction. The reason that I read Curls' messages is because I have, on my other screen, a chat that wasn't actually up because I had launched Minecraft, but Curls and other people can reach me on there. Like Spokey says, X, aren't the repeaters the wrong way around? Now that was 13 minutes ago, and I feel like, yeah, you probably said that before, I told you, just didn't pay attention here. Because I launched the other Minecraft, it had closed or hidden the window. You said you had decaf again. Did you learn to like the decaf bean now, or is it a different one? It's the same decaf bean. Okay, so that was Curls again. See, Curls gets to ask me exclusive questions about coffee. I don't know why, I just enjoyed it more this time. I think, I don't know, I think just like my mindset has just shifted these last couple of days, where I've just decided to try and take things easy and be a little bit more of like on top of everything, but give myself time. Because I've got like a whole bunch of stuff going on for the rest of the week, including making a snapshot on Thursday, now not Wednesday. Going out Friday evening, got to look after the dog Saturday, got a meeting on Sunday. Like, every day has got something. I've also got to look after my grandparents for the next few weeks. So that's part of the reason why I've gone down to one episode a week. Kind of wanted to do it anyway, but like, you know, I've just got stuff going on, but I know I'm on top of everything, and I've been able to relax and enjoy. And yesterday, at the end of the day, I was just like, oh, you know what, I'm going to have a decaf coffee, and I really enjoyed it. I'm going to put sandstone in this floor, because I can't be bothered to do it any other way right now. Oh! One sandstone block, eh? So, we might not need to come back down here again. I might be speaking too soon, though. Let's, actually, now that I think about it. Stone is the material of choice around here. Joe Dragon, 25 months. Hellos, I'm sneaking in my lunch break, so I hope all is good and enjoying all the work you do. Have fun and enjoy your day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joe. Appreciate it. There you go. Forever a secret. No, we're not going to go back down there again. Real life is more important than videos and internet things, says Joe Dragon. Yeah, it really is. It really is. It's weird. I think you might have just said something so funny. It's like, you know these things, then someone says it in a particular way and it just makes you think differently. But like, actually, I'm gonna just think on that more before I say anything, because that really just made me. I was like making some plans and some notes the other day about something, and then yeah, I'm gonna linger on that thought and come back around to that. Nick for all, thank you for the prime. Tree, thank you for 72 months. 8 times 9, indeed, with the math, with the mathematics. Okay. Oh my God, some secret sort of zoom screen. What is that? Right, let's see if the redstone signal gets down here. Pressing the button. Oh, do you know what? I never actually rewired it properly, so that's why it didn't work. Ah, now we know. Mystery solved, right? Mystery solved. Here we go. Let's try it again. Alt and tab. Wait, why is there so much lag? Did it actually? Oh, it actually set the flying machine off. Oh, it would have done it when I placed the block. Yes. Okay. So I placed the block and then off it goes. Right. So now all the kelp rises all the way to the top. Look at that. God, this is so cool. I might make this the thumbnail. I don't know why, it just looks super cool. Yeah, I went a bit trigger happy with the old F2. So at some point, the signal will come out and send all of these on. Oh, this is so cool, isn't it? We're going to see it in action. All the redstone works. Hurry up! I said impatiently. Have you ever considered getting Doc M free camera mod, says Skyfire? Yeah, I keep meaning all the time to get that. I think it's part of something else though, right? Which is why I haven't used it yet. But yeah, I keep meaning to get that and just forget. Right, I'm gonna... Well, I know I'm probably gonna goof up here, but like... Oh, maybe it's quite a bit more time than I thought. Oh, there you go, like a stack and a bit. Well, we could start another conversation while we wait for these minecarts to come out. Or I'll see what my mods are saying. Spooky says, and now your other MC is the zoom menu still up. Okay, it's part of Tweakaroo. Yeah, that cam is part of Tweakaroo. Lucaro says, oh, by the way, X-Hopper minecarts are slow when they have items inside. Maybe that's why they are somewhat unpredictable in your Kelp hat. Dang, I did not realise they added all that sort of stuff. Huh. Well, it all works, I know that. Also, I just heard a noise. There you go, look. Yeah, it looked like it got crazy slower once it filled up. But they all get all the way around, which is just really weird. It's a bizarre little contraption, but I love how like each of the... Oh, let's check out this bit here, because the water broke there, unfortunately. Like the kelp literally grew right as I placed it, and so it broke the water, and that makes it a real pain to fix. Oh, one stayed behind this time. Dang, that shouldn't have happened. That's the first time it's done that. I guess it will get pushed along next time, right? That's kind of a bummer. You know, what I could do to fix this thing up is to replace the blocks there as well. And then you'd have like some open gaps. Which might not... Or I could just put wall blocks there. Should we go make a modification? I think we might. Anyway, all of this is really good. Now, let's check out the status. So, we got one stuck, so I guess it didn't bring... Oh no, actually, the problem is... Yeah, okay, so this thing's been activated a lot, and now needs a lot of crafting, right. My inventory is an absolute wreck, to the point where even my shulker boxes are all pretty much full. Okay, so let's get one for redstone, as we have quite a few redstone components. Is the camera account still on? It is. I don't think we need that right now. Let's disconnect. Get rid of that. Cole says, in the past you talked about the topic of young people believing that they are not able to afford their own property nowadays anymore. You said that you felt the same way when you were younger. What helped you, or what did you learn that made you change your mindset? Was it that sudden realization one day, or was it a process that led you to the moment when you said, I will own property, I want to buy a house? Usually deep-rooted beliefs are not changed quickly, but slowly over time. I didn't like really, it wasn't a belief thing. It was more of a practical reality that changed, that then meant I could afford to buy a property. And that was that I learned to save, but I didn't learn because I thought I would then be able to get a property. See, I was just convinced that it wasn't, you know, a reality for me, and I had a doom and gloom attitude towards society, and you know, oh, I'm never going to own a property or whatever. But then I lost my job, and I got a paycheck that was twice the size that I would normally get because it was my last paycheck. And I was about to go and spend all of that money like I normally would. Like, paycheck would come in, and then I would go to the shops and buy DVD and buy other stuff or whatever. And then it just, something in that moment in my mind went, like, you can't do that. That's the last time you're getting paid. And I was like, oh, and it really just like hit me, and so I didn't, and then when I then had my next employment, I just didn't try and spend all the money. I just kept saving it, right? And then years go by, and I'm saving up more and more money, and then I'm starting to look at the amount I've got saved, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, could I actually do this? And by the time I pulled the trigger to move out, I could have done it years before. Now, some of you will say that the times have changed again or whatever, and it's more difficult now than it was for me. That might be true. But the thing was, I told myself it wasn't, and it turned out to not be true. I think it's much better to have an attitude of like trying to make something work than just accepting that it doesn't and being fatal about it, essentially. Hoarding money, I can relate because, to be honest, it also keeps costs to a minimum and try to save as much as possible. I mean, you can call it hoarding money. It sounds a bit, I don't know. No, I know you don't mean it that way, but like it's saving up. Basically, one day you have to retire, and you can't. You know, your body will get old and knackered, right? Like, you have to plan for the future. There are other costs that you might incur in the future too. So it's about always putting money aside, right? If you budget your income, if you look at it in terms of percentages, and you're always trying to put away X amount, that's how you'll achieve building up some savings. And then in the future, that's when, you know, now maybe you can afford a house or whatever. I heard an anecdotal tale the other day about someone who could have afforded to buy a house but never was able to. And this goes back decades, right? So back when housing prices were actually like way cheaper. And I found the story really quite interesting because, you know, like if you looked at the numbers game of it back then, it was like they could have easily afforded. Like, it was definitely less of a challenge then than it was now, but it was their attitude towards not wanting to buy a house that stopped them from doing so. The Stridgy says, "Hi Zoomy, what do you think of musical people on Twitch? Like people whose whole channels are them playing instruments live?" I think it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely awesome. Really cool. I always say to the young ones, it's not about what you earn, but what you do with it, says Nat Hardcore. Yep, totally right. You know, you can earn a lot, have an extravagant lifestyle and blow all that money away, or you can earn less, be tight and careful and crafty and save up. Right, what did we need to do? I've kind of lost track of my... Oh wait, why am I throwing that away? That's some fuel. Oh yeah, we're going to go modify... Yeah, we're going to go modify the top bit and rescue that minecart, right? So we're going to try and make this a little bit better. And that will require a small amount of these. I think. I'm hoping this will make a difference. Excuse me. There's also a difference between saving up for a house and being able to maintain that house with all the costs long term. Yeah, that's another factor too. Once you've got the house, you have bills to pay and whatnot. Like these are skills though. These are like money management skills, and like it's a multitude of things. It's like discipline as well. It's just not something that maybe like comes that easy. Like it literally took me like losing a job and just having that thought of like, oh, there's no more money coming in, to like shift how I treated money. So like maybe if you've always just lived paycheck to paycheck and like you've got no extra money, you think it's like just not affordable. And like I was not earning a lot of money. I was like sub minimum wage at the time when I started saving. So, you know, as I say, there is clearly an issue at hand. Like the housing prices are extraordinary. But if you have the attitude of telling yourself you can't, you won't take the steps that are necessary in order to do, right? That's why I'm just not keen on that attitude. It's like it's so self-defeatist. You're not even giving yourself a chance, right? You're not even taking any actions that could potentially change that outcome. Right, I wonder if I can set this thing off manually without the flying machine, just for a quick test. I guess the signal comes from somewhere down below. Let's get the camera count back on. I think I can do. I think what I can do is actually just that, and then put it back in a second. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about. In fact, I think I should have probably put it back already. I don't know. Hopefully, I haven't broken any redstone now. Okay. So what we might see in here is that they go around a little quicker now. Yep. Yep. They go around quicker. They're also not picking up any items, but one of the theories I heard was that the blocks at the edge there cause some sort of friction. So changing those blocks over might have helped with that. And from the outside, it doesn't. Yeah, actually, it looks a little bit awkward if you intentionally focus on it, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. We've also got this to deal with here. I think I might not bother with the mega project today and just continue work on this area. Right, so one of these will be dropping off some more kelp, right? No, they're all emptied. Oh, that last one probably never got any. Here's another thing. The kelp don't exactly like grow. Like, this isn't a really big tank that you can just run over and over again, so I could send for more fuel, but it wouldn't be a crazy amount. Anyway, I'm going to kick off the camera account now. I think we're done with that. Unless I go work on the mega project. How did I get myself into this area? Oh no, I think I wandered in from over here, right? Yeah. Yeah, I must have wandered in from around here. Okay then. I think having that attitude will take you far, but for a lot of people there are practical limitations that still hold them back, says Walker. I get that, I really do. But again, to me it's just like, no matter what the practical implications are, like, your circumstances can change, and like, saving is a practice that you should do consistently. Like, I can just look back and go, if I had started saving from the beginning of my first job, I could have moved out several years earlier. It's like, the circumstances are tough, but it's just the act of saving. You have to start somewhere, right? It's like, why wait for the circumstances to change? And why not work on building up those savings as soon as you can? One can also invest money in funds and stocks, and not only save money in a bank account where inflation eats up savings over time, says 4pin or Archistry. Yeah, I mean, we're getting deeper into how investing works now and stuff. Hannah Pug Lover, thank you ever so much for 5 months. Appreciate it. We also got FX Oons here for 8, saying haven't been able to catch a stream for a while. I'm always delighted when I do get the time. The great conversations and thought-provoking content is always great. Thanks. I'm glad you think so, my dude. Thank you for subscribing. We also got 1,800 peeps tuned in. Be sure to hit that follow button here on Twitch. Appreciate you all coming by. Make sure you're following and you can catch future streams. I'm hoping to do like an extra one later in the week, but Friday or Saturday might be it. Kind of depends on how far along I get with Hermitcraft. Master Drago says, I save 100 every month. That's awesome. That's cool. And then, you know, what you can do with that 100 is like assess at what point you need it. Like with savings, it's like you kind of want to learn about liquidity and how some savings are there to be accessed quickly. I.e. if something happens, you need a bunch of money, you need to be able to access it. Some of it is longer term. If you're saving like 100 a month and you've got like a cushion, like an emergency fund, and then maybe you start to look at it, right, like some of this 100 each month is now going into something longer term, and that's where you can like tie up your money in different types of investments like bonds and then stocks and shares and stuff. It's a really valuable skill to learn because, you know, it's like time, it's like a compound interest thing. Time just keeps passing by. The days keep rolling by. If you work out every day, you get fitter, you get stronger. If you eat too much every day, you put on weight. Like, and it's the same thing with money. Find ways to save up for the future and build those plans and learn how to manage the money and, you know, put them into different types of investment based on like when you think you might need the money. Because, you know, if you're just starting to save, no way should you put it into stocks and shares and stuff. Like, you want to build up a cushion of cash, like emergency cash, and then maybe something like bonds that are, like, you can get, here in the UK, you can get premium bonds, which you can access relatively quickly. You can get all your money back in a few days. But you're part of a lottery to win, you know, a small amount back over time. You know, it's something like 1 or 2% on average. And that's the nature of it. Like, the bigger the potential return, there's risk, but also, like, you tend to tie that money away for longer. Anyway, I've totally forgotten what I was going to do next, and now that I've stopped waffling, it comes back to me. I'm going to replace this with sandstone, cut sandstone, I think, and then maybe put some walls in between them. Goodbye, scaffolding. I kind of need to also remember exactly where those are. There we go. Cool. I have a reasonable amount of money behind me. I needed some of it when my boiler packed in, says Cosmo Guy. Yeah, there you go. So that's like a good example of like why you would have cash sort of savings on hand. You know, you'd have a certain percent of cash for emergencies or like rainy days, holidays as well. You might want to start saving up for. Yeah, we're going to do this. 1, 2, 3. And keep going up. And immediately I've run out of the walls. So we'll hop back down. But not before we put that there and just... Yeah, I feel like that will be structurally sound looking. FX Soon says homes may start easing down soon, in the US anyway, with the interest rates starting to catch up with inflation. People are not going to be able to buy homes as easily. Yeah, it does feel like, you know, I am no not even like, you know, you go, I'm not an expert. It's like, I'm not even a novice on this stuff, right? I have a passing curiosity for many things. I think as I get older, I get more and more curious about stuff, and I've tried to like understand, you know, it's not just, oh, the house costs this much, but like, what's the economics behind that? Why are these prices changing? How does this all work? Trying to get my head around it a bit. And learned a fair bit about stocks and whatnot and housing prices along the way. But what I've seen is that like we're on what's called a bull run, and bull runs they end. Like this ludicrous pricing market for stocks can't go on forever, and the prices are going to crash down at some point and potentially come into a bear market. And then these things influence other systems like the housing. The cost of housing, and as someone pointed out, like inflation influences other things too, and so like these housing prices, you know, they tend to go up over time anyway, but like the current rate is not sustainable, and potentially there's going to be somewhat of like a crash, and the prices are going to have to come down. But I'm guessing this is probably pretty boring stuff for most of you, right? Sometimes it's tricky to discover these negative thinking patterns if they are often reinforced from the environment around you, like with all the articles saying millennials will never own houses, etc., says Girls. Yeah, great example. Yeah, if people keep writing articles like that, then it's just convincing people. And then, you know, if you're a millennial reading those articles over and over again and you're convinced of it, you're not going to like all of a sudden, here's my plan for buying a house. You know, like it's not going to happen, is it? So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy? Oh, words. Oh. And, you know, I think, like, you know, learning to save is a skill. It can, you know, give you things you want in life. Like, I went on a skiing holiday early this year, and I could go because I had saved up the money in the past, you know? And I'll be able to go on more in the future if I keep saving. It's about balancing everything. Right, so, kind of looks like we want to put a wall down here somewhere. Like at that level? So that looks kind of okay-ish. I feel like we're going to use like, trapdoors and slabs or something up there, stairs, but currently I'm thinking, let's get some smooth sandstone together. Do we have any of that? This is regular sand, so let's go smelt up some of that. Where could we smelt? Oh, where could we go smelt this sandstone, I do wonder. God, if only one had built some sort of communal smelter. Oh, then I could communally smelt. Sophisticated Ated says, I've started invested in a leaser account to buy my first house. I only do £2 a week at the moment while I finish university, but when I get a job, start my PhD, I've started planning saving more. It's really good because I get 25% interest on it, says Sophisticated Ated. Yeah, I have a leaser account as well. Mine is for retirement now though, which is the other thing you can use it for. So there are like government schemes out there to help you save. Now if you tell someone about like, if you save you could earn a guaranteed 25% on it, like it's like, what? Sign me up. Most people would say, right? These things are out there. Yeah, if you're a first time buyer here in the UK, that leaser account, you can put up to £4 a year in it and the government will match you for 1,000. You can also do that with an investment firm and then put that money into bonds or into stocks and tie it away even longer, which means you could earn interest on your initial investment and the 25%. But this is not investment advice. I'm just telling you this product exists and you could go look it up if you wanted to here in the UK. I used a save to buy account for my first house, which is the one I'm currently in, my only house, I guess then. But what? Something happened. I'm just trying to remember what. I think I ended up like, there's like a threshold, and then I ended up not using the account or the bonus from it or something. But either way, it's like a great scheme. And you know, like even when you start with £2, like it's a great habit because you can build on it. Like if your circumstances change, and now you can put like a tenner in a month or something, like you're just getting going, you're getting started. How difficult is it to move to the UK as a US citizen, says Tons? No idea, but if you're moving because I mentioned they have a savings account where you can earn 25%, that's not a good reason to move. Probably not. Curl says, I'm trying to get my hardest to get rid of negative thinking patterns, but dang, they're difficult to get rid of. No matter if it's about self-image, finances, social matters, or other things, even though I have the tools for it, let alone a young adult who might not have these tools. Education and the school system really needs to pick up on that and give people the tools. I agree. There's many things schools could do, like, you know, creating a what we call it, like, you know, classroom education, coursework, I don't know. Creating education on like relationships between one another would be a good idea. Like learning to be better humans towards one another. Like there are so many skills and things that you learn in life that maybe we refer to as wisdom or something along those lines. Because, you know, like the longer you live, you make so many mistakes and you get to pass on what you learned from them. But like just basic social skills, there's so many things that I feel like lessons on could just be so beneficial for society. Like if people just had better skills to get along with one another, and you can just picture sort of across demographics there just being like less conflict between people if they're brought up with the skills to like conflict resolution, you know. Right, so then here, that one I'm going to put like that. Yeah, okay. That makes this quite simple. To at least look Reasonable for now. Then we've got to do the other side. Tree says, I've had a lot of luck the last year, but I fear that my success stories make others feel worse about themselves, says Tree. I think it's about how you talk about it or tell it. If you're on about, like, you know, with friends or whatever, like, you know, maybe like read the room a little. When people are on having hard times, you know, maybe they don't want to hear about other people on a good luck streak or something, you know. But I think the manner in which, you know, you pass it on, because you can be like, oh yeah, I'm Mr. 100 million, everything's so great, right? Or you can be humble about it. You can be like, I'm so fortunate and blessed that things have been going well, and like, here's what I've learned, and hopefully this can help you too. Like, there's different ways of approaching those sorts of things, I guess. Right, so to me, that now looks kind of reasonable too. Now my shins! We want to hide those redstone blocks. Girls of Doom is here with 11 months, subscribing almost a year, saying we as human beings continually act against our own best interests out of our brain's misunderstanding of what we think others believe. A complicated set of illusions driven by conformity bias distorts how we see the world around us. Todd Rose from the Collective Illusions. Yeah, that's an interesting one that requires more thought. But yes, what others think of us shapes our behaviour a lot. I see that in myself, and it's something that I'm, on one hand, trying to free myself from, but on the other hand, like, some social pressures are for good, right? Like, some social pressures are there to stop you from being a douche. Sometimes you can have douchey instincts, like, what's one thing, I constantly get sucked into this, like, sarcasm of the obvious, where someone will ask you something so obvious that you make, like, a sarcastic remark. But then it's like, if it's that obvious, why are they asking you? It's because they don't know. No matter, like, you know, everyone can be oblivious to something obvious at one point or another. And I constantly try and, like, spot myself doing that and, like, change that behavioral pattern. And, like, the more it's on your mind and the more you think about it, the more it feels like a reflex or like a knee-jerk reaction, and you can actually, like, get out in front of it. And so I've caught myself on occasion, like, thinking of that, like, sarky remark, but then, like, reminding myself, well, it might be obvious to me and everyone else in the room, but, like, this is being asked because someone doesn't know and wants an answer. So yeah, something like that is, like, that's something I've tried to work on a lot. X, you were talking about a tall statue thing that you were planning to make during the start of the previous season. But you could not because of 1.18 being delayed and no change in the world height. Are you planning to do that statue this season? I'm not planning to do it this season, and my Patreons, they actually built it in the previous Let's Play Minecraft Together server. So they reached out, I sent them the schematic, and they went ahead and they built the entire statue. You can see it in the World Tour video, actually, I believe, that's on my second channel. It was incredibly cool to see. I definitely bit off more than I can chew. If Season 8 wasn't planned to have been a short season, then I might look back at that build and think that would have been really cool. But because it was a short season and the short season thing turned out to be not so great, I tend to look back at that idea and just think, I probably saved myself one there, you know? Right, so we're going to put some birch trapdoors, and I think I'm going to leave this space here empty. I'm kind of gravitating towards slabs in the middle, but maybe... yeah, I think they're going to look better, and then we probably just need some slabs there to stop things spawning. And now we need to go sleep in a bed. Did I leave my beds, like, out in the open? I did. Sweet. Patja, thank you ever so much for 6 months of support, my dude. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I had one more thing I wanted to talk about this stream, but I think I might save it for another time since we're on a totally different train of thought here today. Have you ever thought of redoing an old build or improve on this you wanted to do during that season, says Striker Beast? I tend not to really, like, I tend to, like, think forward a lot and not really, like, look back and worry. I tend to find looking back and worrying just to sort of enable some kind of, like, natural propensity towards negativity. So, like, I like to count my blessings because I can look back on like a video and just immediately start thinking, oh, I could have done this better, I could have done that better, should have done this way, should have changed that thing. And like, it's like my brain just goes into sort of overthinking mode, and it can kind of like, it's not pleasant really. Maybe it's about like things that aren't really that much of a bother, you know, creating videos on the internet, not the most consequential of things to worry about, but it's just the nature of my mind. It's like not pleasant. So yeah, I naturally tend to just keep looking forward because of that and not worry about like if something isn't perfect or not. I don't want my videos like to be perfect. I just want to have a process that I enjoy and then create them. So through these different seasons of Hermitcraft, like, it's about having a vision, an idea, a goal, and then working towards it. And I do the best with the time that I afford myself to do that. And then after, when it's done, I tend to just move on and not really look back with too much scrutiny or intensity or anything, really. It's like, for me, it's like once it's done, and then you're on to the next thing. And I think that's just like, a healthy way for me to do that. I could like totally sit down and give it some like serious thought though, and like probably come up with a list of stuff that I genuinely could have done better. Like here's one that's sort of disappointing in a way. I think my favorite ever project is the massive brewery that we did in season 7. Now, what I'm not so keen on about it is the shell that I built around it was like really like a real push to make all of that happen. And I feel like that build is a little bit, you know, if I want to get particular about what does and doesn't work with it, it's a bit like of an isolated odd build just sitting in a desert, and it doesn't have the right surrounding to complement it. It might not be like the best sort of shape and structure anyway, but like it was just me being ambitious and, you know, like here's the plan, here's the scale of the build, I put in all the time and effort, and then there's the end result, right? I do my best, I don't obsess over it. And you can kind of see that. You can kind of see how it could have potentially been better, right? But like, I'm not going to overthink it. But what disappoints me about it is that it never really got fully utilized. I know Cubfan used it a lot, and I'm forever grateful for that. But I built that thing thinking, what happens when the hermits have infinite potions? Like, what is it when they can come over here and grab any potion they want? No hassle. You know? I wanted the hermits to be able to think, oh, I've got a minigame idea, but then they're not restricted by having to go and create a bunch of farms for it. It's like, come get the potions. Walker says, X, I think you've been continuously improving, so it's natural for you to be critical of elements of your past builds. Yeah, it is, but I have a kind of like obsessive, anxious mind when it comes to this stuff. Like sometimes my mind will just like fixate on how I could have done this video better or something like that better. And it's not terribly healthy or pleasant. It's not the worst thing ever. But I think I naturally have gravitated away or tried to from that, but especially where I'm at right now, I'm just so aware of that. I'm just so aware of how like I can overthink what I'm doing, and I just want to get away from that. And so that's why my process tends to be a case of just like, what's inspiring me, what do I want to create, let's do it, and then move on. These are a great example right here, actually. Like, I can honestly look at these builds and just think about things. Oh, maybe that shape's a little too phallic. It does look very phallic, but you know, like for a tower, like this base bit here didn't feel quite right, but then I loved this bit and the way some of the other shapes came together. There's a golem on the outside. Dang, there's a golem over there. The birch there actually looks like dark to the point where it's not like the sandstone. It looks like there's a third color in there. Anyway, you know, I can critique that. I can look at the flaws of this project. If I started again, I could do things different. I learnt things along the way. This top heavy build here, maybe I could have done something different at the base. I can always critique, but it's just about the process and enjoying it along the way. And that's what I focus on with these ideas. So yeah. Lol, maybe phallic is the theme of the season with all the pillars going up and having a competition on their size, says Walker. Maybe. Just maybe. Here's the thing though, you build a tower, it's always going to look somewhat like that, right? I mean, you can see whatever you want in shapes. It's like when you look at clouds or those famous like psychological ink splatter things. It's not really about what's in the ink, it's about what's in the mind of the person. So like, when you look up and you see clouds, and you see faces in the clouds, like, there aren't faces in the clouds. This is your mind creating these things. So someone who's, let's say, moody, negative, unhappy, they might look up in the clouds and see things quite different from what you would if you're happy. Maybe you see a smiling face, maybe they see a frown. Kind of like that, you know. I build something, someone says, oh, it sort of looks like this thing, and I'm thinking, well, that's because you're thinking it. I didn't notice that. Right, so another thing, by the way, this definitely needs like extra textures, I'm noticing. I think we'll just focus on getting these trapdoors in place and then suss out that bit. Doesn't our mind technically create people's faces in our minds too? Yeah, it does. So you could extrapolate that perhaps, you know, something, this is kind of personal, but like due to prior trauma and things I went through in my youth, there's a lot of like types of faces that sort of trigger bad feelings for me. But fortunately I'm like very aware of it. It's like difficult to not like associate those things together, I guess. But yeah, like reality is constructed in the mind. So it's all about like signal and information coming in, and your brain then creating emotion and information from it. Not in everyone's mind. Some people can't see the faces in their minds or remember faces. Yeah, sometimes you have more of a impression. I feel like my brain remembers faces like pretty straightforward, and I think of my friends and people from the past, and in general I feel like I have a good like picture of their face in my mind. I don't feel like I've got it wrong, but then I don't know, like I've seen pictures of people from the past and it's just been like, oh yeah, like that's them. Like I haven't had a moment of like, oh, my brain's got it wrong. I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood what you're saying. In the past couple of weeks, I've lurked here a couple of times and I'm always impressed by how deep your words hit on mental levels. Hope you're having a good day, X, says Ice Sage Inu. Thank you, my dude. I mean, it's just what I do. I just endlessly think about this sort of stuff and now have the ability to like articulate it, having done this for so long. But yeah, I appreciate it. I've actually had like a really great start to the week, and I just feel like I'm gonna have a good week and try and keep myself on this current, I don't know, train of thought, mental energy or whatever, like best I can. So I feel like some sort of something or other underneath in a couple of places to break up. Or maybe replace those walls with something different. It needs another colour in here. I'm just not quite sure where it needs to go. Yeah, there's definitely potential just to throw... Oh, it kind of feels like I maybe missed a couple of walls at the end there. Feels like there's the potential just to throw in a couple of blocks. I'm just not sure what blocks. This is where creative mode is extremely useful. I'll log on to my other server. I think it's going to be spoilers. So maybe we thumb through these chests and something stands out. I don't know. I have a very imaginative mind, so I can paint entire scenes in front of my eyes, says Amazing Games. That's awesome. I feel like I can do that mentally as well, like have quite the imagination. Maybe we can take... yeah. Netherwoods. Take a little inspiration... Now I really know where I'm going. Because I was thinking about using some Achacha trapdoors, and what's very similar to them are these crimson ones. So, let's try this, right? Grab this, make those, head up there. X, did you have a curry on Sunday, says Curls. Oh boy, did I. Oh, it was a glorious curry. I'm having a bit of like a mental shift at the moment with that stuff. I've got to, like, I want to genuinely just stop pigging out, even though I can get away with it. Like the last 2 days, I've just had some really nice, wholesome, home-cooked meals, mashed potatoes, lots of vegetables, creamy sauces, you know, like real good food. And not that curry isn't that, of course, but like, the thing is, like, I went the whole day without eating, and as much as I want to do a fast, I got to admit, like, it's a real effort to go through the day without eating. And I just ended up, like, thinking about it a lot, and it was just like, I don't want to constantly be thinking about food. But anyway, I had an absolute mega curry. So there was this, like, there's this place that does a massive onion bhaji, like a big, fat, greasy, bowl-filling onion bhaji. It is just... And I had that with a sag bhaji, and then a chicken and what was the other one? Like a chicken masala and a paneer masala, right? And I've had this combo before, and it's like mega delicious, just absolutely indulgent. And then I noticed on the menu that they had something called chom chom, and I was like, "What's this?" And I looked it up online, and it was like some weird desserty Asian thing. And I didn't get that. It was actually, I got something different. But when I got it, I realised I had it before. It was like a pancake with meat inside of it, and it was delicious. So I had just like an absolute exorbitantly massive meal. And then I was like, I think that might be it for me for a while now, you know? Do you know what? These don't look right here, and now I think I know where to put them. Yeah, I'm not done with my curries, believe me, but just... I don't know, just got to stop being ridiculous with the food. Okay, I might be getting away with it, but it usually comes with that price, because you know, if you are going to have like a massive meal, you don't want to eat anything else for the rest of the day. The day before, the day after, you might want to eat less, and then you just spend like too much time feeling hungry and thinking about it. And I'm just like, I want my days to be like active and busy and doing stuff and not thinking about food. How long do you spend eating that amount of food? Are you a fast eater that goes on for the whole evening then? I'm a fast eater, so it's usually done in like 20 minutes, even when it's a massive bowl. And then I'm always like, oh, that was quick. Same time next week? No. Have you had boiled milk? Says Roughgar. I don't think I have, but I was going to put some milk in my mashed potatoes today, and I looked at the date on it, and it was like 3rd of May, and I was like, what? This is a week old? How is this milk so out of date? And I sniffed it, and I thought, it doesn't smell that bad, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to risk it, so I poured it down the drain, which I always feel a little guilty about with the old animal produce. Don't like to waste it at all. Right, so that stuff doesn't spawn on it. Let's do that. Maybe in the middle here as well. We could go for something a little... Considering there's exactly 5 left... Oh no, that's 4. Anyway. Yeah, I think that might be a touch of colour that's pretty decent. I'm now wondering if maybe I should have used like warped instead of birch on the side. Dang, I didn't think about that, did I? I just flew into using the old birch. Anyway, I think that's kind of alright. I think I'm going to put some birch buttons on the underside to like break up the texture a little bit. You don't actually see much of that colour from down here as well. But I'm starting to think we're kind of there on this project. Let's read some noises in the ear. We've got Ice Pick here for 11 months saying I've recently visited the Season 7 world. Builds in Aquatown. Wow, they're amazing. Season 9 is going well. Going so well as a fan. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you, my dude. Thanks for the support and the lovely message. Glad you're enjoying all that we do. Let's put them in where we can. Maybe in the middle is a better spot. And then let's go here to there or something. On this side. Something like that, I think. And then we've got to get rid of some of this stuff. Sir Hugo Big Dog, thank you for using the Amazon Prime on me for 4 months. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream, my dude. Ah! X, are you planning on writing some more metal songs for Soulside Eclipse? So long as the RSI doesn't bother you, of course. The last 2 on your YouTube are very good. When I read that, I think of the other metal songs. Yeah, I'll get back to the writing someday. I don't know, it's just one of those weird things. I was hoping, you know, like now that I'm going down to 1 episode of Hermitcraft a week, I'm hoping that means at some point. Like I said, I've got some commitments for the next 3 weeks. Maybe sometime after that it starts to open up and I can focus on some music again. I managed to like get on the computer and do some music stuff for like 30 minutes the other day and that was it. And then it was like, alright, now I've got to do this other thing. So, not a great start, but you know. It is what it is. What are we at here? We need that in there. Sandstone needs to go away. Aha. Very easy just to focus on 1 block at a time and not like when you open it, see all the ones that go in. The Embarrassed Lemon! Thank you for the Prime subscription. We also got the Hurricane here for 2 months saying finally catching a stream again. Thanks for the awesome work you do. Appreciate it, my dude. Thank you for the lovely message. Any start is a great start. It means that you have started something at least, says Gina Thier. Absolutely. I mean, my start was I was just checking out more of the instruments that I recently brought. Like, I brought like a bundle of VSTs and stuff. And just wanted to like start getting into them a little bit, getting some ideas in my head. All I have to do is just like open them up, start tuning some knobs and dials, figuring stuff out, and my brain starts ticking over. But yeah, it has to just now become a habit at some point. So we did real good today, actually. We did a load of development over here. It wasn't actually the plan. I was going to work on the mega project, but looking real good. Rightio then. My friends, I think it's time for the end of the stream. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone for coming by. Also, thank you to Lax119 for the 3 months of support. Be sure to hit the follow button here if you enjoyed it and stick around for the raid. I'll just go look for someone to raid. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. Thanks to all of my patrons, mods and all the peeps gifting sub. Y'all are appreciated. Hypno is doing Hermitcraft, so like, oh, why don't we keep the train rolling, you know? Okay, here we go. Actually, this thing's probably going to be wrong. Oh no, it's not. Okay, it did update. There you go. Right, we're raiding Hypno. So, thank you everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.